miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and our home team. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run on first down. Armstrong. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check 24, check 24. Right.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. That's Armstrong. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on second down. Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Protein spill. 11Z. You got tight.
Strong right.
You got tight right there.
On first down, it's Long. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Long. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all.
Hey, wahoo!
On first down, Luck. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty good.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 39-yard line.
Mike, 319. Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Hey. 4 down.
Now this time, Rodgers will throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he's going to go down again. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line.
At their own 16.
The Charger drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
11. 12.
Now Locke. He'll find Metcalf. And out across midfield down to the 45. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Kill. Watch twist.
61, matchbox lights. 12. Sponge.
Reggie.
Just beating the play clock is Locke. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Rolling to his right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Watch the roll. 50.
Go.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Watch the out. Kill. 40. Easy. Alert. 58's the mic. Watch the pass. Strong right. Check 23.
Luck on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On 2nd and 10. Luck. Rush coming, and he's taken down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Wildfield. He's checking.
12.
11B.
Hey, Delta. We got 25 to make.
Check tight end. Check.
Hey, check. Switch.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
37-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Rodgers, Desmond King there on the coverage.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Luck now, nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Running on 1st down, Eckler. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On 2nd and inches, Luck. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. Here's 1st and goal. And, gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Here's Luck. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. To try again after the sack. Rodgers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So it sails out of bounds close to midfield, and they'll say actually right at midfield. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We got 25 to Mike. I got wide.
From the 50, it's locked. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
12.
From the red zone now, Locke. Flush to his right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. Now, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
88. Hey, high 7.
Mike 42.
Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Easy. Take 30. Hey, exit.
On on third down. Rodgers, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
36. On.
After the interception, it's Luck. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. This quarterback now over 300 yards down for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And he's brought down. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling's working very well for them right now.
On 2nd and goal, Luck. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
42 the mic, boys. 42. 42 the mic. Come off the ball. Back north.
Now it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Hey, Haywood!
On 1st and 10, Luck. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They run with Howard. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing just outside his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw, Love. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
Monday.
39-yard line.
Now a 1st down throw. Locke. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
11 speed. Cross. Come. Hey, box up.
The 16-yard line.
25 to Mike. We got 25 to Mike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Desmond King making the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play you did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
26.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Mike 52, Mike inside. Hey, orbit. Back and go full strength.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. This is caught by Williams. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw, and that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, 25 the mic. We're going 25 the mic. Woo-hoo. Hey, 25 the mic.
Now Luck. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 20.
Throwing now, Luck. He'll find Smith-Schuster, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Luck. Toward the pylon, caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
No.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Now Rodgers. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
I got you. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 33. 33. Rip right. Rip right. Smooth.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. But a tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlep Rock. Got that black cloud over their heads.
Here we go. Check nine. Check nine. Hey, check.
Luck gonna throw it. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Now he's gonna get